So one day, living in Crown Heights, going to seminary, I got a phone call. Rabbi Raskin, David Raskin, who happens to be my father's first cousin, says, I need, very important, that you should go and stay with the Rebbe Simchana for a week or maybe 2 weeks. The lady that was staying with her had to leave suddenly. I said, me? Stay with Rebbe Simchana? 17 years old? And he said, but you know the Rebbe Simchana. Of course we knew her. The Rebbe Simchana came out of Russia on my grandmother, Baba Sara's passport. We called her Baba Sara, but she was Mama Sara for most of the world. And we've had Shana Tova cards from her. We came to Crown Heights to visit the Rebbe. We went to visit her. And, we had connections. So I said, okay, so what am I going to do? He said, I'll tell you what to do. You'll meet with her. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. And so that's how it happened that I stayed with the Rebbe Simchana. And just want to share with you a few short, interesting things that happened to me there. So basically, I went to seminary in the morning. I taught Talmud Torah in the afternoon. And at 7:30 in the evening, I would go to her and help her whatever she needed and sleep over at night and then go back to work in the morning. So one day, as I'm ringing the bell for her to come to open the door, someone else opens the door, a lady. And I walk in and I see that the dining room table is filled with delicious food, beautifully arranged, and a whole group of women are sitting around. And she introduces me to everyone, and she says, this is the Neshei Bnos Chabad Council of Women who have come to invite me personally to join the Neshei Chabad Convention. And then she says to the ladies, and you should know that every girl that stays with me has a big schus that she becomes engaged very soon. And I don't know if she knew or she didn't know, but my future husband and I were going out at that time. And Reb David Raskin was our shadchan. So I continued to visit with her every day. And then for this convention, my mother came in from Cleveland like she did every single year. And to this day, I still come to the May conventions and people say, like, who's there? But anyway, I still feel like I'm part of this convention. We all are part of this convention. The Rebbe started it. But in any case, so we passed by in the usual convention, we passed by the Rebbe for brachas, especially for my shidduch and so on and so forth. And my mother wanted to meet my future husband. So he took us to the Greyhound station after the convention for her to go back to Cleveland. On the way back, it was already 7:30. I ring the bell at the Rebbitzins' house. I waited a few minutes like usual, but she doesn't come to the door, so I thought maybe she didn't hear me. I rang the bell again. I waited a few more minutes. She didn't hear me. Maybe she didn't come to the door. So I rang the bell a third time. I know she said it was 7:30 that I should come there. And suddenly the door opened and the Rebbe was there. Now, I must have gone white because the Rebbe smiled, a big smile, and he said, as he's walking and told me to come in, and he says, your mother is still here? In Yiddish. Dein Mami is noch da? I said, no, she left already. And then he went and sat down at the dining room table opposite the Rebbitzin, and then I went into my room really fast. And I just feel like the Rebbe opened the door for me. I just feel this very, very big responsibility to open the door for so many people around the world for the Rebbe, and that's, I've blessed as a shlocha. And so, when my husband and I got engaged, the Rebbitzin called us and asked us to come visit with her. And my husband also, being that he worked for David Raskin, also worked in the Rebbitzins' house, helped her many times in many different things. So we go there to visit with her. She opens the door, we ring the bell, and my husband, being a gentleman, opens the door and wants to let me in first. And the Rebbitzin, with a very big smile, looks at him and looks at me, and she says, "Bei uns Hasidim, der Mann geht früher." So, continue. After I got married, we had a very warm relationship, and my husband had an opportunity once to drive the Rebbe to the Oihel. So every month, he and I drove the Rebbetzin to her doctor appointments and other things that she needed. I had the privilege of helping her out, and she was always very friendly and very cordial and wanted to know where I bought my dress, especially my maternity clothes, and it was just, and asked me if I was reading the Yiddish Haim in Yiddish, where there were memoirs about her written. In any case, it was just being with her was very, very special. And so we had that opportunity. And then one day, David Raskin calls me again, another emergency. The lady left that was staying with her, and would you please come and sleep over with her again until we find someone else? I'm pregnant with my first baby and due in about a week. But obviously, if the Rebbetzin needs me, I was going to go there. So my husband and I, we came over and we chatted and we talked. And the Rebbetzin asked me to shop for her also this time. I mean, I'm already married. I know how to cook and shop, you know. So and she asked me to cook meatballs for her. Remember, I didn't tell you, it was the summertime. It was Rosh Chodesh Menachem Av, the 9 days. And then she insisted that I eat with her because I'm pregnant and I need the energy and I need to be healthy. And she told me, don't worry, our barrel eunuch is going to come over and make a siyum so we can eat the fleishiks in the 9 days. And the following day, Reb David Raskin came over and he made a siyum so we can eat the fleishiks. So I'm washing the dishes and we're talking, and I didn't know where the towel was. So she showed me the drawer. I pulled out the towel, and she said, it has a blue pass on it, a blue line on it. That's for milchik. All right, the next towel had a red line on it, and that was for fleishik. Okay. So I learned that maybe it's important in my house we separate our fleishik and milchik towels. Okay. All right, and then on Thursday night, or Friday morning, the Rebbetzin says to my husband when he comes over to pick me up, she says, I don't think she should sleep here Friday night. She didn't sleep very well last night. I heard she couldn't sleep. It was, this little room had no air conditioning in those days. It's in the middle of July, in Crown Heights. Okay, to make a long story short, she said, we'll manage. So we said, we'll come over on Shabbos afternoon. So Shabbos morning, 6 o'clock, my labor pains started. 10 o'clock, I had a baby. So that afternoon, I felt so bad that I couldn't go over to her. But in any case, my husband walked back to 770. He came exactly as the Rebbe finished davening and was walking into his room. He went over to the Rebbe, gave the news that we had the baby, and that we had discussed the fact that we want to give her a name, Sarah, after my Baba Sarah, whom has given her passport to her, and she traveled with us from Russia. So the Rebbe said, Aglai Chazach, und gib dem Nomen zu Mincha. The name should be given at Mincha time, because he already finished, it was past Shachris. So at the Rebbe's minyan at Mincha, my oldest daughter, Sarah, got her name. Now this time, the Rebbetzin, as soon as Shabbos was over, I quickly called her and I said, Rebbetzin, I'm so sorry, she said, Mazel Tov, I know you couldn't come, you had the baby. My son already told me. For a minute, I said, like my son? Okay. And then, for our wedding, the Rebbetzin gave us a check, and we were very, it was actually the Rebbe's signature on the check, so of course we didn't cash it. And so she said to me, now for this baby, I'm giving you double because you didn't cash the check for the wedding. But it's not for you this time, it's for her. And you must buy something for her. You promised me, I didn't promise, I mean, but you must buy something for her. And so I made that mistake, I did. But in any case, so she wanted to know exactly what it was and whatever. So in any case, I just thought that my time is up. My daughter is nodding. And let's, Bezras Hashem, may Mashiach come and we will all be zeichet to see the Rebbetzin and enjoy our relationship with her. Thank you.